Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any more bizarre out there, Caitlyn Jenner, otherwise known as Bruce Jenner,
They call me Bruce.
has announced that he, whatever, is running for governor of California.
They still call me Bruce.
Now, you would think in this woke culture that we are all being immersed in, despite the fact we don't want to be, you would think that the left would embrace this, that this would be a wonderful thing, a transgender governor for California. But no, there was a backlash all over Twitter that apparently we must, quote, stop Caitlyn. That was the hashtag. That was the campaign. Governor Gavin Newsom is taking this challenge from Caitlyn rather seriously, mounting a full pushback on her campaign. What is the problem? Well, of course, she is considered a turncoat to the LBGTQ, LMNFOP, ABCD, whatever group, that because she's not a full-fledged liberal, we can't embrace her. Well, first of all, you can't embrace her because she is a him. I hate to point out the obvious. I go back to basic science. You know, that thing that we used to follow, that we say we're following, but we're really not following because we've allowed a megalomaniac who wears a lab coat and a mask to tell us what we all need to be doing. And he was on the Sunday shows this week saying that being outside, the risk of getting coronavirus is very minuscule, therefore you don't need to wear a mask. Here we go again. He's going to flip and flop on masks yet again. Some of us have told you from day one you don't need a mask, but shh, that's just my opinion. Remember, I'm not an officially proved, fact-checked authority on the subject. You know, what do I know? I just took science, read science, understand something about science. But hey, getting ahead of myself here. Because after all, we're supposed to follow the science, especially the science that's being funded by really big pharma that's making a whole lot of money on everything that's happening right now. Oh, really? Did I just say that? And you know why libs and the progressive left today, their heads are exploding when they're finding out now what Joe Biden is not going to do regarding health care and the windfall that is coming to big pharma yet again. Ding, 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 ding. Can we start putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, boys and girls? Do I really need to slow walk you through this? Do I need to spell this out in crayon, what's actually happening? That said, off to the side. Real science says that you either have an XX chromosome or you don't. You either have an XY chromosome or you don't. You're either a boy or a girl. It's really simple. And to say that you are going to keep certain body parts but identify as something else, well, fine. I'm going to identify as vaccinated even though I'm not. I'm going to declare myself unarmed even though I am. After all, it's not in actual facts anymore. It's in how I feel, and you must validate my feelings. So, Caitlyn Jenner, otherwise known as Bruce Jenner, throwing his hat into the ring to be the governor. Now, here's the thing. On the one hand, this is beyond laughable. It on some levels, for many of you, it's nauseating and sickening. Here's what's really, really pathetically sad about this whole thing. Caitlyn would be an improvement over Newsom. Bum, ba-dum, bum. There, did I really just say that? Caitlyn would be an improvement over Newsom. Be an improvement over what's going on in the police state of California. That's the sick part. And the sickening part is that this is how sometimes this grotesque abnormality and just outright that which would be considered nauseating becomes embraced and then mainstream. Because if I lived in California and as a conservative, my choice was between 4 more years of the hairdo, or take a chance on Caitlyn Bruce Jenner? Obviously, I wouldn't vote at all, but my knee-jerk reaction would be, I'll go with Caitlyn Bruce. And I get that. That's what's sad. Now, Caitlyn is a bad idea, especially for Republicans, because Caitlyn identifies as a Republican. Wow, he identifies as a she who happens to identify as a Republican. But they are the classic Republican. They are you ready for this? They are conservative. They are fiscally conservative, but socially liberal. Yeah, like we haven't done that experiment before. Can you say Paul Ryan? Can you say like every Republican on Capitol Hill with the exception of about a half a dozen? Been there, done that. This is Bush legacy crapola. This is middle of the road pukeism. It's just nauseating. So what? Caitlyn's going to go in there and lift the mandates and make the kids go back to school? Yeah, okay. I'm sure we can find somebody else with a stronger message. But we live in such a iconic pop culture society, and last night there was no shortage of the virtue signaling from the woke Oscar Awards, which I did not watch. Would they have it like in a train station? You know what? Whatever. Couldn't even tell you who won what. I don't know who won Best Director, Best Actor, Best Movie, because are they really doing movies anymore, or is it just all, well, today we're here to nominate and give an award to the first crossed gender 3 times, went from man to female, back to male, now to female, and soon to be an Oriental cat Russian dog. You get the trophy because you were in the category. That's what it's devolved into. It's beyond ridiculous. So, on the one hand, I'm not going to really jump and get deep into this whole Caitlyn thing. It's pointless. Know this, that from a political standpoint, it would just be quasi middle-of-the-road Republicanism, which that's not going to get elected in California. It's just not. You need somebody to come in and be a real outsider. You know, some of these movie stars that from time to time flirt with the idea of politics. Why don't you just go ahead and run in California, please? Please, leave Matthew McConaughey, leave Texas alone. They're just fine without you. Maybe you can fix Hollyweird and the rest of California. Hey, Bill Maher, why don't you run? You know, some of these progressive libs, they're not happy with what Newsom did. Why don't you show us how it's done? Why don't you guys really, at warp speed, run California right into the toilet? Well, Caitlyn Jenner. It'll be interesting to watch. It'll be fun to talk about. But at the end of the day, you just shake your head and walk away and say, America, America, wherefore art thou, America? Hey, that's it for this little mini rant on a Monday. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and a like. Smack the bell, click the word all to get notification of my next rant. I know some of you are having trouble finding us on Rumble. It's rumble.com/Pastor Marty. You won't find me in the search engine or Google that way. It's rumble.com/Pastor Marty. Please look below. You will see a direct link that takes you right to my channel.